What's up, guys? Justin Brock here down in Delray Beach, and my buddy Eugene is always down to come and film a video for you guys.
Oh, yeah.
And, we've been working with Eugene on trained virtual assistants for a couple of years now, and the progress is awesome. So over 2,500 virtual assistants have been trained through the company, and the cool thing is we're actively deploying 3 to 5 a week, like clockwork. But the thing is, like, the systems and processes within TVA have gotten so streamlined that we're really looking to amp this up and help more people. And those of you that don't know, officially, we're a direct partner with TVA. I've been partnering with Eugene kind of behind the scenes for a little bit, but we want to get more involved because we've seen what a blessing trained virtual assistants can be for the mid-sized agencies, small agencies, but even call centers. Not only because of the telemarketing aspect, social media planning, marketing, client retention, seminars, calling in your seminar leads and making sure that they're going to show up, increasing show up rate. We've seen the live calls from the increased show up rates. When you have an agent in a small agency, sometimes they're trying to market and grow, but hiring people stateside now, with proposed minimum wages, we're seeing as high as $22.50. And honestly, a lot of those people don't work very hard. What we've seen with TVA is, these people are working hard. We're paying them in their exchange rate what is an extremely livable wage. They're happy to have these jobs, these positions. And so it's a win-win-win between the virtual assistant, between TVA, us as a sourcing company helping train, between the agent and the consumers on the other side, right? And so the growth has been awesome. Seeing it work has been awesome. And so I just wanted to bring Eugene here today and let's talk about, what the future of TVA looks like. And like, what are day to day, what's going on? How's it look? What are some of the things you're seeing, happen?
One of the biggest things is making sure that the virtual assistant actually understands the work that we do. So, it's not like here's a script, read the script, and you don't really know what those words really mean. We actually take the time to educate the virtual assistant, and they have continual training, not in the work that they're doing, but the why behind the work, right? So, it's not as simple as customer picks up the phone, especially now with being post AEP, tomorrow's February 1st. We've had a whole month of trying to retain customers, and the VAs have been doing a really good job with that. But the fact that they don't just pick up the phone and call and deliver a script. Did you get your cards? Okay, good, bye. No, it's actually getting to know the client and the reason behind why we're retaining them, what the customer goes through with MAOEP, right? And the agent potentially losing the client back to what they had before or whatever. So just like you're retaining your customer, the person you took your customer away from is probably retaining them as well. And so there's that little tug of war there. And if the VA understands and can pick up on the clues, well, my old agent called me and I spoke, okay, well, that's a red flag. We need to get that back over to the agent that they're working for, the VA is. And so just teaching the VA exactly the reason of why they're doing this stuff and having them understand just some of the basics of Medicare. With my blog and my Facebook page, we're always putting out new content that's easy to digest. And the VAs, we expect them to soak that information in. Yeah. And so we're not just training a VA to do a task. We're training the VA to be part of a business. And as the business grows, one of the best things that I've seen, and the most exciting part is it's not just the new orders that come in, but it's the agent that orders with only maybe 5-10 hours a week, and 2-3 months down the line, they're like, hey, I need more hours, I need more help. They could be doing this for me and that for me. And just to see that agent go from 10 hours a week to 30, 40, 50 hours a week, hiring more, having an agency go from 1 VA to 3-5 VAs because of all the tasks and how much business they're writing. That's the real exciting part, because if their business wasn't growing, they wouldn't be able to afford to spend that extra dollar on giving those extra hours. Yeah. We're actually seeing those emails that come in and say, hey, can the VA do this for me? Yeah, they can. If it's not selling, yes.
I can tell you, just now with our history with the VA side, but also with just general people in general, like hiring people, you don't really understand all the things that they can do until you get them, and they become this asset that the more they know and the more that they can do. I mean, I have people that have been with me now for 7-8 years that are so valuable in all aspects of the business because they develop this crazy understanding, and alongside as you're developing your understanding, wherever they start, they're growing with you, right? And so people at this point have become our biggest asset. The only way we can grow now, and that anyone can grow past a certain point, is with people. And without having those touch points, those additional touch points, it becomes very difficult. A lot of people will be out there saying, well, at what level do I need to hire, right? And that's different for everyone. A lot of that's going to depend on your technical acumen, because you can use technology to help you get to a higher point by yourself, if you leverage it correctly. But there's always going to be a breaking point where technology can't do it all for me. I'm going to have people. And I mean, case in point is the biggest tech firms in the country have tons of employees, and often end up having tons of employees in places like the Philippines. This is just the way that you have to evolve, right? And so, and then a big undertaking when you hire someone is how long does it take to really get them trained? And I think that's where TVA comes in, because you could go on, Fiverr and then hire somebody for something and then start trying to, figure out how you can hire, your own telemarketer, cut that, part of the equation out. The thing is, once someone does that after they've been a TVA customer, it's difficult for us to continue to have a relationship with that person. So when that person ends up potentially leaving, which does happen, we're not going to help them source another one, because we know that we don't have a long-term business partnership with that client. And so when we have a client that trusts us to be there with them long-term, we want to get the trained virtual assistant, adequately trained and continue to help you keep them. But then in the future, you might need another one and another one and another one. And we want to be there as a continuous long-term business partner, not somebody that just sourced you one VA one time. And, that's such a short-sighted way to do it. So we have encountered that, a couple of times, and it's annoying for someone not to understand the business model for us is actually on the front end, you're not making money. You're spending time and resources and energy getting this person trained. But on the back end, we're able to create revenue by keeping long-term relationships. And hopefully we get you to where the first one is such a success, you want another one and another one as you grow. And that's what we're here for. So
one of the things that people ask me is, what is it all that you're capable of doing? I want it all, right? And it's like just taking a really small hose and just trying to stuff as much as you can in it, right? And it becomes a little overwhelming. And so instead, I like to reverse the question, saying, what is the one thing that I can take off of your plate? Just one thing. Let's hire them for, and we've talked about this before. You don't hire somebody with a bunch of tasks in mind. When you brought Steven on, you had a specific job for him, and he was doing that. Yep.
Now he does
one
none
job.
of that.
Yeah, right. And so you got to give them one job, and then you'll be surprised how fast that they actually learn to do that job really, really well. But then the second part is hey, can you do this for me? Can you do that for me?
And you don't even know what tasks are relevant until sometimes you're like, oh wait, this person can do that. I didn't even know I needed that done, and now it's helping my business. To the same concept, I have multiple times told people that, obviously, we did 13.2 million in revenue last year. We're close to 40, active physical employees, just moving to a 12,000 square foot building, actively growing, right? If I was to be asked, hey, just download everything you've learned into my, I'm not accessing every individual lesson at one time, so I don't know how to tell you exactly how to do everything. When asked specifics, how do I do this? Okay, I can help you do that, right? And so as you have a virtual assistant, that same concept will come up. It's like, hey, wait, can they do this? Yes, they can do that. But to come to Eugene and say, what all can they do? Well, that's kind of there's not like a set answer. They can only do this amount. There's all the time where we'll see people use a virtual assistant for something we've never seen it used for before, and then we kind of add it to our, like, oh, they could do that. And by the same account, like we have, our Medicare breakdown book that we lease to people. I've seen people come up with a marketing method with that book that nobody else has used, and it's like, wow, what up? I've seen that multiple times. And then even with like GoGuru, used to, when we would sell a GoGuru agency account, we would load everything we had built for our own into that account. Well, then it's just like overwhelming.
Yeah, it's too much.
So now we've stripped it out, and we're like, hey, you have a menu of, we're going to put a couple of pipelines in there. We can add more, but like, I'm not going to add all this stuff because you're just going to be like, it's too much. Like for me, now Steven and some of these guys can have way more windows open on a computer, but for me, I get a computer that has like every window under the sun open. I can't even think. I go through and close every window.
I'm the same way.
But that's an important thing to understand, that I can't, whether you use TVA to get a virtual assistant or just hire someone, people in general, I cannot express enough how much of a resource a good quality person can become over time if you just trust yourself in hiring. And most people, I find, when they finally start hiring people, virtual assistants, physical employees, both, because we would do a mixture, right? It's like some things are good for virtual assistants for us. Some you have to have these physical employees. A mixture is good. But what I always find is that people always wish they hired sooner, because normally you're hiring before you have the work to do, so create the work, and that person either is taking service load off of you so you can make more money, taking service load off of your salespeople to make more money, or then in some cases becoming those salespeople, right? There's different nuances to all that. So anyway, we want you guys to plug in. This is going to be an awesome 2024. I also want you guys to know that, all the turmoil in the market, it's just one of those years where we have these regulations. This has been for 3 years in a row. We've seen, new proposed blah, 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 and rumors and rumors and rumors. And, it's been that way. I was talking to a guy in here at the Aetna Field Advisory Council. Has been in the business since 1981. It's been that way since it's been in the business. Yeah. There's always changes. We're going to navigate the changes. And the good thing about changes is the weak players get out, leaving more people for the rest of us to help. If you stick around, it's going to be more prosperous, more prosperous, more prosperous. As long as you're looking at how can I help more people? How can I grow my business? How can I invest in my business? And you can do that with Trained Virtual Assistants at trainedvirtualassistants.com.
Or t-va.com.
T-va.com, 4 digits. Don't spell dash. T-va.com.
Yeah.
Check it out, and follow Eugene on Facebook, man, because
YouTube
and Facebook, he puts out good stuff. And
thanks for having me.
If you reach out to him and ask him questions, like just genuine questions, he's always down to answer.
Always.
It's kind of like me, incessant about helping people and growing our business.
Yeah.
So
thanks for having me.
Absolutely, man. Thank you so much.
Yep.
Let's go party in Delray.